I'm going to take you to the University of Ghana. Well, I don't think she's on campus at the moment, but someone from there, Dr. Annabella Osei-Tutu, she's a senior lecturer in counseling psychologist. Doc, thank you so much for your time this afternoon once again, and sincere apologies for the connection there, the instability in the connection. I asked you earlier for you to share with us your own experience having to, I believe, work from home or having to deal with this whole coronavirus thing that is so new to us, but that's changing our lives so rapidly.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. My own experience, I'm used to getting up in the morning and having a routine. But since the university closed down, I realized that for the first 3 days, my schedule was out of control. I woke up late and tried to catch on to movies that I've missed. But then I had to bring myself to order, remembering that I'm not on holidays. And so I had to put in realistic plan because I have two kids at home. So I have to take care of them, but I also have to attend to other office-related work.
Okay, so I think
yeah.
I think one of the key things that we always have to bring ourselves to deliberately is that we are not on holidays. I think that's one thing that a lot of us don't seem to be getting. We're not on holiday. So before I get to how you can put yourself together like you did, how you can get yourself up and say, hey, get disciplined, this is not a holiday. Have you felt this? Because I have felt it, where you begin to feel paranoid all of a sudden. You begin to feel like if you just did the least thing like a cough or sneezed, you feel like, am I having coronavirus? I felt that before. Is that normal?
That is a normal reaction. In fact, this coronavirus has triggered a lot of vulnerabilities. And one of them is for us to be hypervigilant. So you cough and you are wondering, okay, do I have it? And so these are all normal reactions. They draw attention to the fact that it's a threat. But then we need to move beyond that realization.
Coming back home, how do you wake up on a daily basis? Now, we all have movie backlogs that we want to catch up with. So how do you wake up knowing very well that I have to be honest and I have to pay my dues to my employer who is paying me? So if I'm working from home, it's not about sleeping, but that I am consciously being faithful to the hours that don't belong to me, the hours that someone else has paid for. How do you consciously bring yourself to that level in these times where we are doing the work from home business?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for me, as someone in academy, I can afford to work odd hours. So for example, I'm doing much of my writing and preparation for classes in the evening when my kids have gone to bed.
Okay.
And I also have online classes during the day. So when I have scheduled such classes, I have a supportive partner who takes care of the kids so that I can attend the online class. So in effect, it's a change in my schedule, but I make sure that I'm committing a good amount of hours to do my work load, as it were.
Are there a few pointers that you can list for us? You know, it's easier to sometimes have a checklist that puts you together. Can you take us through, you know, if you like, a list that we should keep in mind every single day that we're supposed to be working from home, or even just for our own psychological health, staying at home in these times?
Yeah. So the first thing is to have a plan.
All right.
Each day when we wake up, we should draw something like a to-do list. Okay, that gives us expectation for the day, and it keeps us in structured flow. You see, boredom will set in when we think we don't have any plan and we don't have anything to do.
Okay.
Okay. And then we also have to be intentional about managing our anxiety. So how often are you checking the COVID infection rates around the world?
Mm-hmm.
I know people who have unwittingly contributed to a high BP because every minute they are checking to see how many people are dead, how many people,
Well, for some of us,
so
we
we
don't
have
have
to
a
be more.
choice. For some of us, we just have to follow it. We have to
For,
know.
that's true. For those of you in the media, you stand a high chance of burnout
Oh,
because you
dear
are
Lord.
constantly dealing with it. And we are happy to provide you psychological support. We have counseling services that will help you to talk through your own reaction, because how you react will be different from how your colleague will react.
Mm. Mm.
So those of us who are not at the forefront will benefit from the dosage-based information arrangement that I mentioned.
Okay.
But people in the media, the health workers at the forefront of care, they need specialized care. And we are happy to provide that. I'm working with a group that provides telecounseling, and we give it bespoke or individualized care.
All right.
Because there's not as one size fits all.
There's a part of the telecounseling that we can talk about perhaps next time when we talk here on the show. But before I wrap up, I've taken note of what you say. When you wake up, you have to have a plan. At least provide yourself or develop for yourself a to-do list that helps you get through the day. So that way you don't, you know, slack and you don't sleep. But then you also have to be intentional about the sort of information that you consume in these times, and then you also ought to go after special care if you fall within the, I believe, the areas that you've mentioned. For someone who gets very emotional in these times, are they more likely to be extremely emotional to the level of depression, and what can they do in their own small way to manage it?
Yes, thank you very much. That's an important question. So some of us are leading our own lives. We've not paid much attention to our emotions, but this is a time that the whole world is at a hyper anxiety or high rate of anxiety. And so if you have underlying predisposition, it means that you need to be extra careful. So the things that I mentioned, you will have to be much more conscious. Make sure you seek out activities that will contribute to happiness or give you pleasant emotion, learning new things. Because the research shows that people who have underlying conditions or who are already dealing with some psychological issues may fare badly if we don't take care of them during this time of stress.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll take a final comment. we can have a more consistent conversation where you can provide some sort of counseling, if you don't mind, for people who might need it. We do that here. We ask people to send in their difficulties in these times, and then we get some answers for them. We can make time for that. But right now, let me take your very final question, and I'll make it a bit selfish, a bit of a selfish one. For people like myself, people who are in the media, who always have to go after this information, whether we like it or not, on top of our own emotional baggages. What is it that we can do? We don't have a choice. You said that we can pursue special care. You're on the move. You're constantly on the move. For the health professionals, for example, they're constantly on the move. How do you go after that care? So if you can't get that care, what can you do? I mean, mentally, is there something you can do? Can you deliberately shut off?
So we know that people in the media often go through what we call emotional labor.
Oh.
That they shut it off, they shut their emotions off. Right. But then when you go back home, everything comes hitting you real hard.
That's so true.
So we call something acceptance in therapy, that is, or in counseling. Accepting that you are dealing with real emotions. Sometimes taking a moment, it could be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, exercising, deep breathing.
Okay.
Focusing on some positive event. That helps you to process your emotion.
Okay.
Then you can come back to the work that you are doing.
Well, we'll try the deep breathing and see how it goes. Well, I'll tell you whether it worked or not next time when we talk, which I believe will be somewhere within this week. But we'll also encourage our listeners and viewers to send in their questions, so perhaps you can help us deal with it. Thank you so much, Doc, for your time this afternoon. I'm talking to Dr. Annabella Osei-Tutu. She's a senior lecturer psychologist at the University of Ghana. She joined us. She's working from home. And we've been talking about what you can do. So you wake up, so you know you're working from home. You know that the hours aren't yours. They've been paid for by your employer. Stay faithful and work for the employer. But make for yourself a plan, because you can do so many things around the house as well. But make for yourself a plan so that you don't lose it. Be intentional about, she says, managing what you consume. If you don't need to get information that depresses you, don't go after it. Just stay put. And also go after special care if you think that you need it. You can go online. I think there's a lot of information. There can be some bad information out there, but look out for the good one. And also for those of us who go after some of this information, whether we like it or not, the thing is to accept it. This is your reality. Accept it. Exercise, do some deep breathing. Hopefully that will work.